Thank you so much for attending my presentation on why the new Tera type is underwhelming, and first, I need to issue a disclaimer. This information is fairly new, and while we don't know every detail about Tera Stellar, there's enough out there to where I can feel confident talking about it here. If I get something wrong or you want to share additional information, please tell me in the comments because I really want to know how this shit works in detail. Of course, there will also be slight DLC 2 spoilers for those of you who have not played it yet. The new Tera type is just that, a Tera type. No Pokemon in the game natively has access to it, meaning the only way for it to come into play is when terrestrializing a Pokemon. Instead of being a full-fledged type, it's more so meant to give your Pokemon more ways to interact with the opponent and boost your moves. Speaking of boosting, let's talk about how you can take advantage of Tera Stellar offensively. Its unique mechanic is really fucking confusing at first and took me a couple reads to fully grasp, but I think I have it down. Tera Stellar will boost each of your moves, but only once for each type. If you were to use Hydro Pump twice, the first one would get a boost akin to Tera Water, but the second one would not. However, if you were to use Hydro Pump and then Ice Beam, both would get that boost. In addition, Tera Blast gains a unique effect. It deals super effective damage to opposing terrestrialized Pokemon, but lowers your attacking stats by one stage afterwards. You might be wondering how it affects your Pokemon defensively, and guess what? It fucking doesn't. Tera Stellar keeps your weaknesses the same, a surprising choice to say the least. This makes it a purely offensive terrestrialization option, a role that's already being filled by the regular types. An effect similar to Terapagos' ability, which makes every move it takes at full health deal resisted damage, would make some sense, but alas, it's left out to dry completely. So what could use it? Well, it's honestly pretty limited. On the offensive side, terrestrializations done to boost specific moves are probably better, especially on choice sets. Specs Flutter Mane has no reason to run Tera Stellar because it wants to get that boost to its fairy moves more than once. This problem is shared by all the choice items, which have some of the most shit synergy I've ever seen with the new mechanic. There are some use cases though. With Tera being a major force, especially in singles where an unexpected type can turn a battle on its head, it could see use as a countermeasure. Tera Blast one-time super effective damage can let you take care of these surprise stats quickly without losing the entire match. Pokemon that like running many different types of coverage could also benefit from this, gaining the last bit of power needed to push their damage output over the edge. In conclusion, Tera Stellar is a bit polarizing and surprisingly underpowered compared to essentially everything that Game Freak has made in the past several generations. Even so, I'm glad that they took the time to balance this gimmick, and hopefully it gains a solid niche in both singles and doubles. If you want to learn more about this, I highly recommend Moxie Boosted's video about it, where he goes over its mechanics in more detail and offers some possible strategies. The link will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching.